We're dancing on the ceiling. What's up, y'all? It's your man. What's good? Man, taking this stroll, y'all. Sitting here enjoying the peaceful pandemic and taking a little stroll in the area, And just, I don't have too many thoughts. Just one particular thought that seems to be on everybody's mind. And I'm not going to try not to be long-winded, y'all. I'm just going to just say it like I mean it. And hit the topic, and I'm going to move on. So, but anyway, y'all are not busy. Mess with you. Up and run across the street. Oh, shit. So, but anyway, the sun has gone down a little bit where I can actually buy with y'all not sweating too much like a Hershey bar with legs here. So anyway, check out the live. Please share this live. As I always ask y'all to share them all because they're all awesome. And it's raw and uncut because it's, just Rico sharing his opinions. And if you haven't already, I still have a short story that is always for sale, always. It'll never not be for sale. Here's a good story. It's called The Greatest Pain Ever Felt. A conversation with my absent biological father who never wanted to be found. Tino Lucian, what's good, bro? And please feel free to cop that. The story is, pretty much about when I discovered who my actual biological father was at age 22. But it was by accident. I guess it's supposed to be an age-long secret. But it was the secret was let out by my aunt who passed away years ago. Shout out to my aunt Pat. But I got to meet him at age 39 for the first time. I just knocked on his door after I looked up these addresses, and when he came outside, hold on a minute, I'm outside, freaking outside. And so he said, "Hey, how'd you find me?" And I said, MapQuest, Google Maps. He said, "Well, I have to give you an A for effort because I've worked aggressively over the years to prevent you from ever finding me." So I, wrote it all down. It's a story that probably took like a span over like 10 years or something. But it's only 40 pages, so if you want to mess with it, $10, Cash App, $ Rico the Opinionist, or PayPal, Rico Rivers or Rico the Opinionist. And please send an email address because it's in PDF. So, Walker Olivia. So, it's in PDF form, so I can email it to you. You can read it on your laptop or your desktop or your phone. And if you decide to read it, please let me know your feedback because my information is in the book, in the short story, in the PDF. And also, good evening, everybody. Some of you may be sitting down to dinner, or some of you may have already had dinner. I think I'll just have yogurt tonight. Can I take my shades off right here? Yes, no sun. Right here. I've been outside already chilling. Because, these are times that you wish for when it's winter time. And so now that they're here, people are like all inside. Now, I'm not saying be outside during the height of the heat, but after like 5:30, after 6, it's time to come on outside and get some of that vitamin D. Yeah, it has to hit your face. Our melanin, it just pulls from the sun. The sun is what makes us Superman and women. Y'all think they got that Superman story from? Us. I'm sure there's some books or research on it somewhere. But anyway, this story has been, I guess this is the hot topic right now. I'd had thoughts about this already, but now it seemed to be all over because Mr. Nick Cannon is now almost bragging about this recent behavior of his with this, what I call this inappropriate sexual behavior of his. And I'm gonna walk this slow. I'm gonna speak slowly with this. So if you got a minute, these are just my thoughts. They're not etched in stone. It's not the law because I said it, but it's just observations that I see, or assessments that I see, observations that I make, and all this cool stuff. And, Nick Cannon, right? Now, this dude has had more baby mamas in 1 month than any man on the planet. And it seems to be very little talk about it up until recently, until he was on his little radio podcast show bragging about it with the city girls and thinking it was funny and shit. And we're struggling right now with children, black children being born out of wedlock, 80%. And he said, when someone asked him the question, one of the city girls asked him, what's up, man? I mean, I'm just paraphrasing. He said, hey, YOLO, you only live once. And then I was looking at another podcast or a YouTube channel. They were saying that had something to do with him possibly having lupus and him may not be living very long. Trying to justify that poor behavior. And so I'm wondering why we as a community have not come down to him harder than what we've come down, because that is the most irresponsible, blatant irresponsible behavior that any man can do, rich or poor. But we seem to give people who have money a pass at inappropriate behavior. We do. And Nick Cannon, I'm one of those who's a Nick Cannon defender. People call him corny and lame and almost Pee Wee Herman-esque in his presentation. It's okay. And I said, hey, it's okay to be a good guy. There's nothing wrong with that. He had 2 children in his marriage. Okay. But then he got that other little chick. But he's had like 4 baby mamas or 4 kids by 3 other baby mamas within the last 3 months. So he had 7 children. 5 of them by 3 different women, other women. And he got those other 2, but with Mariah. And we think this is cool. When the hell did we become a race that said, well, they can afford them? And I was talking earlier on my live about how black people do not believe in God like they say they do. And you certainly don't believe in the Bible. You always want to say who's an atheist or who's agnostic. But it seems to be the believers are the ones who are doing all this kind of foolishness, going against everything you say you believe in. Just because someone has money and it's appropriate? No, Nick Cannon ain't shit, just like y'all said the Future ain't shit. Now, it's interesting that Future got about 10 kids, about 12 different baby mamas. I'm exaggerating, of course. But we was all on him, talking about him like he ain't shit. I mean, just talking about him all the time. Man, he got all these baby mamas and blah, blah, blah. But y'all are not this hard on Nick Cannon. And you should be. And also, how y'all talked about the baby mamas, the women that volunteered to be baby mamas to Future just to get money. Guess what? The same thing goes for those hoes who lined up to be baby mamas for Nick Cannon, because you are a whore. If you lined up after woman and lined up to get the same penis just so you can get a check, you are a whore. You are a moralist whore. And that includes the women that got pregnant by Nick Cannon. They hoes too. Just like y'all called the hoe, the women that got pregnant by Future, back to back, they all sit on the same penis to get that same check. So we need to cut the hypocrisy out. We need to call all these dudes out who doing this stupid shit. Now this dude to sit his ass right here, even if it were true, that he believes that he's gonna die within the next few years because this supposed lupus, I don't know, that's a rumor, I don't know if this stuff is true, if he actually said that. So what you're saying is, I'm going to drop off a bunch of kids, and I know I'm going to leave them fatherless. You son of a bitch. Little corny ass, lame motherfucker. Why would you do that? And then you want to present yourself as this intelligent brother, but it seems like your nuts were taken away from, what's up, Sterling? It seems like ever since them Jews pulled your pants down and spanked you with a fly swat on your ass, you've been searching for your manhood. So you did just like any other fully developed young man would do. This dude 40 years old. You right here allowed your penis to be your pathway to manhood and courage. Instead of you standing up like a man and standing on your word, you let them Jews make a pure fucking bitch out of you. And so you're so distraught and you're so lame. You think you being black by doing something inappropriate as that? That's not being black, Nick. That's trash. Even for white guy, that's trash, Nick Cannon. And your ass needs to be talked about. If you just created a whole slew of fatherless children, that's what you did. All because your own broken, fragile, weak-ass, little boy-ass ego. You did that, Nick Cannon. You need your ass whipped. And you're going to have some more because you're a punk. Now, all of a sudden, now you got a talk show coming out in the fall. I wish I would flip my channel on that bullshit. Now, if you had stood up like a man and told them Jews, no, I'm not backing down. Y'all keep that fucking unfunny-ass, wild and out show. Bunch of grown-ass clowns telling stale-ass jokes. Keep that shit. And no, I'm not watching that buster-ass show, that daytime talk show you coming out in the fall. So you literally sold your ass and your soul to get back on. That's just a shame. You already had money. You didn't have to do that. You could have kept your show and been a man and moved on. And take that damn turban off, too. How disrespectful. The Hebrew Israelites need to come and snatch that shit off your head. Because you are a boy. Put on your pink shirt and your lip gloss. Because them Jews have made a bitch out of you right before the world. And you accepted it. Then you'll come around and participate in creating victims. And one thing about this society of women, they don't give a damn about nothing but themselves. Because they had any character, they had any morality, they would not have stood in line to sit on your penis to get your penis to create kids for a chick. I'll say, maybe I was born too soon. Because this is some bullshit. And I don't know why the black community have not torn your ass a new one. That says a lot about us. We sit here and we watch every goddamn thing transpire. Doesn't make any sense. And more men of stature, men of morals, men of character need to get at your little lame ass for that. Them poor little children, and you got to be his daddy, and them dumbass broads that stood in line to wait they turn to get your semen. They ain't shit either. The same way y'all talk shit about Future and his baby mamas. I know all the Nick Cannon's baby mamas are all light-skinned or mixed of blonde, black looking, so that's why a lot of y'all ain't call him the whole thing. Well, Future got some real black chicks, and so that's why they get all this smoke, because they actually look black. Yeah, I know. Look, I've been knowing my people since I was little. I know the mind of the Negro. So when we gonna put Nick Cannon in check for that shit? Dude, that's not cool. Yeah. And then, I think they asked him, when you gonna wrap it up? He's like, when? Wrap it up when? Why? It's just real silly. It's just a fucking 40-year-old child. You putting people's lives at risk. Unprotected sex having son of a bitch you. And I'm not coming off as perfect or pure. I'm coming off from a place of practice. So don't y'all get said, oh, he judged me. I judge every goddamn day. Because you do too. Those who are listening to me, you're judging me right now. And asking me about how many fucks do I give. It's time out for this bad behavior not being checked in our race. Y'all, every time you look around, you want to talk about how the white man's the devil. Hell, Elijah Muhammad already told us. Y'all, is this something new? History has already told us about racism and all that, but we seem like we're playing right into the shit. And they said, well, Rico, people were taught to hate themselves. Malcolm X asked you in the 60s, who taught you to hate yourself? We act like that's a speech. He was asking you an actual goddamn question. Who taught you to hate yourself? And then now when you found out, how come you didn't do nothing about it? We stopped reading. Hey, Robert, what's up, bro? Yeah, this shit is crazy. And we're going to have to stop this. We ain't got to be all godlike in order to put people in check. We see the shit. And that just bothers me. How we sit around, as long as they got money, well, you let them have a pass to do all kinds of shit. And Nick Cannon is a boy. B-O-Y, boy. In Memphis, they call him a do-boy. And across the country, he's known as a simp and a beta male bitch-ass dude. And you ought to be ashamed of yourself. You know different than a 9th grade boy, than a 10th grade teenager boy around here trying to find his manhood because he didn't have a father. You a big grown motherfucker around here trying to find your manhood because other men made a bitch out of you. Fuck you, Nick Cannon. I don't hate you, brother. I'm just letting you know how disappointed I am in his behavior. Stop bragging about this shit, you retarded son of a bitch. There's nothing to laugh about. You ought to be ashamed. Be ashamed of yourself, Nick Cannon. And anybody that think that shit cool, you know how many dicks you can eat? It's not cool. we're going to have to stop this behavior. So, like I said, I wasn't going to hold y'all long. I just want to share my thoughts on that so it could be in the ethos. You know, and I've been reading people's comments per se. A lot of people are not down with that. And he needs to let it be known. Get a vasectomy, you know, condom using son of a bitch. Get a vasectomy, Nick Cannon. Stop creating these kids. And then that's even worse. You no, if that is true, what you supposedly said, reportedly said, allegedly said about not living long, so you gonna do that and then leave a child fatherless? Nobody cares about no money. A baby don't give a shit about no money. Children don't care about their money. They want their mother and their father. You know there's a crisis in the black community about having fathers. And you deprived 5 other children from a father. Probably depriving Mariah's children from a father. We don't know how that works. How the hell you a father to Monroe and your 2 children with her, you get all these other kids splattered everywhere like a dumbass. Yeah, the same way folks talked about Future, and you talk about your retarded ass. Doesn't make any sense. You ain't no better. Yeah, but now you done got back in. No, and again, I'm not watching that punk ass show. So anyway, I'm about to walk past some people. I'm not gonna cuss and let it go, but I just wanted to share that. It's your boy Rico the Opinionist. And by the way, if you have not bought my book, check it out. $10. Cash App, Rico the Opinionist. It's called The Greatest Pain Ever Felt. It's one of those stories that, you know, that needs to be told and is told often in our community about fatherlessness and people meeting their dads later on. So that's a good story. And some people said it's a page turner. So but anyway, y'all be cool. We'll talk in the future. And to my next thought, and I'm on Instagram, y'all, Rico the Opinionist. I may talk about this on Instagram too. So, but anyway, y'all be cool. We'll talk in the future. Peace. Well, let's see if y'all can see me. There I am. Peace.